Aye, good morning. Not the easiest one it's going to be to chat about. The result, probably the right result, but we could have sneaked it. But so could they, because every time the DNA came forward, it was, oh God, they looked a threat every single time they came forward. Their corners were the kind of corners that we want to see. Now, I know there's people already saying, what's the coach doing, the set piece coach doing? He's just in the door, for God's sake. The manager, there's got to be questions asked about his subs. If there's problems, right? I mean, I don't know if I don't like using the word problems. Cameron and Curtis, just start them. You know what I mean? Or bring them on and let us see. Let us see what happened. Barron, young Connor Barron started last night and did well. There's people say flat to deceive, and I've seen people say he only plays short passes. What's wrong with that? But also last night, because of those comments, I did like all of you, I watched it, but we saw he did make some great forward passes. The positives from the game is I thought we looked sort of from box to box, we were better. Well, maybe from our box, maybe a bit further out. We did play the high line, but the attacking mind of the team was a lot better than most. In fact, it's the best we've seen this season. It's just the 18-yard box, but that miss by Chermiti, the diving header, that's one of the terrible, terrible miss. But our goals as well. Our goals again. Sorry, should Jack Butland have done better? I mean, certainly the first one. Another positive was Bajrami. He's playing well. Sorry for I'm not going to start the video again, but you know who I mean. He's been playing well. I know he wasn't in the European squad. You could argue he's playing well because he wants to put him in the shop window. Great. I hope they all play really well and put themselves in the shop window. Somebody wants to come and buy them. Come and get them. You know what I mean? You're paying for them, but come and get them. And I've made a post about Tav, and I'm always loath to talk about Tav because of as we'll see in the replies, the comments. Tav wasn't supposed to be a starter this season. This was supposed to be his last season and do the handover, so to speak, help people fit into Glasgow. Just be ready when need be from the bench because he's never injured. But that didn't happen because of the dross we came in. See, to be fair, when he got subbed last night, Aaron's came on and was actually all right. I think he had a good couple of passes into the box as well, didn't he? Seem to remember. But I would keep Tav for another year just to be the player he was supposed to be this year. Therefore, as part of a squad, because he's never injured for when we get injuries. And people are criticising the two centre halves, and rightly so. But it's all we've got at the moment. Our other two centre halves are injured. There's no one else to bring in. And I know the comments come through. Let's play youngsters from the under 18s or the reserves or the under 21s, whatever they are. I just feel that right now is not the right time for certain players because they're a young team. Because Ibrox, the fan base is pretty toxic at the moment, and that's I don't know. Can we throw a young kid into that? And let's be honest. I would think if there was young players that would suit us right now, they would be getting promoted anyway. And I know the stock reply is, well, they shouldn't be playing for Rangers if they can't handle it. It's not that simple. It's not that simple right now. Uh, Danilo, I would have him selling the programmes outside Ibrox before matches, and that's about as close as he would get to Ibrox. I think, what was it, 6 million played for him? And he showed the odd flash, but it's not. The whole team from back to front is just crap. And it's annoying, and then it's like, see, we've got to question Danny last night. Danny Rose here, and I'm on his side. He will get it right with his right players because he can't be totally judged on these duffers that he's got. But I still think his subs last night were confusing, especially when he brought on Asgard. You're like, why not bring on Cameron or Leo Cameron or Finn Curtis? Let us see them. I'm just praying the next game that he plays them. But because we're playing in a plastic pitch, and if we're to believe that no, I'm not saying if we're to believe, that sounds as if I'm saying Rangers are lying. They're not. If they're injured as a plastic pitch, is that the kind of place you want to be bringing them on if they're just coming back from injury? I mean, you're sitting there watching it last night, and I listened to the first half the first half hour, I was listening to that clown show, Michael Stewart, but then I jumped over to Rangers TV. And see, when you listen to Ian Durrant, like, Durrant is right. There was good moments in that game yesterday from us. I know the result was poor, but you can see that there was certain elements of that game was the best we've seen this season. I felt, there was attack-minded football. We were going forward. We were working hard as well. There was a lot of running, but again, it's the same as we didn't win. And Dundee United looked a threat every single time they came forward. It's like again going back to Cameron and Curtis, just give them a go. But again, to contradict myself, is really a plastic pitch place to do it. But we'll see. Goalkeeper, you know what I say, he could have done better, certainly for the first goal. And because I thought Fernandes was good the previous game, but yesterday it was all over the place. I mean, I'm not sure that both penalties are kind of controversial, but at the same time, certainly for our penalty, I'm not one of these. I don't like harking on about referees and those sort of decisions. I'm a firm believer in if it's a penalty, it's a penalty. There's no such thing as a soft penalty. It's either a penalty or it's not. Now, and I know a lot of you will disagree with that, which is fine. Going forward, but we are where we are. We need, in January, I think we need 6 starters. But the thing is, like, let's not kid ourselves. Let's not pretend that they're not looking at that. Rangers are looking at that right now. Danny will be looking at that. The owners will be looking at that because Mr. Chairman was over last night watching the game. And he obviously, I'm going to assume this morning, he'll be sitting talking to Danny. He'll have seen what's needed. He'll be learning more about the game, And there's advisors left, right and centre. Because we don't have a director of football, I'm not too worried about that right now. Don't get me wrong, he'll be coming in and so will a CEO. But there's avenues to get players in. There's scouts out there. They'll say, get this player, get that player. We've got access to data, etc., etc., etc. I never... YouTube can make Stephen Hawking look like Pelé, so I never take too much from YouTube. Although, let's be honest, every time we sign a player, the first thing we do is we go into YouTube and type in so-and-so, and they all look amazing, But that miss last night, that's up there. The thing is, putting them out on loans is the right idea. That put the boy out on loan to whoever. We're not going to sell him because we're not going to get anywhere close to the money that we would get for him. So that I can't see the club selling him unless we're going to get a minimum of 5 or 6 million, and that's not going to happen. And also, we're not going to let a striker go without a striker coming in. Somebody said, tweeted me or DM'd me a WhatsApp. It was a WhatsApp playing Finn Curtis as a striker as a number 9. I can't say have I watched him in the reserves or the kids. People say he played that position, and I remember, in fact, I remember reading he can play right across the front, left, right, middle. So he's got that. So let's play the boy. But yeah, not the best of days. I know it's that's a difficult one last night. 2 draws in a row, still not lost. And Danny needs to be questioned about his substitution in his team selection. But I mean, I've done that with every manager I've had, from Graham Souness, Jock Wallace, Mr. Greg, Dick Avocat. But yeah, please remember, this is Thewell's fault. Danny with the right players, and he needs 2 windows. And I mean 2 summer windows, because January is hard. But like I say, I think the chairman will have seen how bad we are. He knows how bad we are. And he will make the money available for us in January to pay over the odds for a player. But yeah. But the positive spin, if there is such a thing last night, is we did look a lot better at times going forward. But the defence is just mince, man. Yeah, Anyway, try and enjoy work today. We'll go Kilmarnock at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, which is just rubbish. I mean, that's 3 o'clock in the morning for me, which isn't a complaint. I'll be up for it watching it. But yeah, please do us a favour, like, subscribe on my YouTubes, my socials and all that. I would really appreciate it. So here, I hope you've as good. What day is it today? Thursday or something like that. It's Thursday, isn't it? So enjoy your day as best as you can. Cheers.